There have been a few milestones in this war that Russia has been waging on Ukraine. The first milestone, of course, was the start of the war itself. On February 24th, 2022, Vladimir Putin publicly announced that he made the decision to start the war. He called it special military operation back then, but toward the end of the year, he started calling it the war. So, insanity began. The second milestone happened 1 month later, in late March 2022. Russian armed forces lost the battle for Kiev and withdrew. That was when Russian people started asking questions. That was when Russian people, for the first time, started asking this question. Why did you do that for? Why did you invade first and then you withdrew 1 month later? What about all the lives lost, both Russian and Ukrainian? What for? The third milestone happened on June 23rd, 2022. That's when American long-range multiple-launch rocket systems called HIMARS arrived to Ukraine, and that changed the balance of war. At that point, it became clear that Russian armed forces advancements were no more. The fourth milestone happened on September 11th, 2022. Russian armed forces completely lost the battle for Kharkiv, and they simply ran away. The official propaganda called that maneuver the tactical withdrawal. The fifth milestone happened on November 9th, 2022. Russian troops left Kherson. Contrary to Kharkiv, that time Russian troops were ordered to leave Kherson by the High Command. And the sixth milestone is happening right now. We're witnessing it. In the war with Ukraine, Russia is finally making a U-turn. The tide has just started turning. Howdy, everyone. My name is Konstantin. Welcome to Inside Russia, where I give you important news updates that explain what's truly happening inside the country. What you will not find here is BS, lies, and propaganda. What you will find truth, common sense, and logic, and some emotions, because I am a human being. Inside Russia is where usual Russia is explained by the unusual Russian. For the first 30 or so minutes, I give you the message, daily message, and then invite everyone to carry on to the live stream chat where we converse and I answer questions. I love that very much. And thank you for coming today and giving you a chance to tell you what I think is happening inside my country, and it's pretty important. So, what is happening in Russia? Well, this is what. Russia has started making a U-turn. U-turn meaning for the first time in 17 months. Yes, it has been 17 months of this madness. So for the first time of the bloodshed that Russia has created in Ukraine, there are signs that Russia wants to start ending it. It's definitely a milestone and most likely the key one. But you know what? You will not find any information about it anywhere in the official news today or tomorrow. If you want to know what's really happening inside Russia, you don't even try to look inside Russian media. Those folks, the propaganda people, they usually call black what is white and vice versa. If you want to know, look for clues. Look for small details, analyze and put them together. And this is exactly what I am intending to do today, and I would like to invite you to come along with me on this journey. So the U-turn. But what kind of a U-turn? What am I talking about, you asking? I'm seeing 4 distinct signs of the tide turning. And without further ado, I'm gonna give you the signs, and I would love to hear your opinion. You think I'm right, wrong, or perhaps comment? Please do that once I turn the comments on after finishing the message. So, the sign number 1. Ukraine does not talk defense anymore. Let me remind you what happened in the past. In the first days of the war, Russia's win seemed imminent and fast. Everyone saw Russian armed forces occupying Kyiv quickly. Zelensky would flee to the west, Russia would install a puppet president, and Ukraine would become a proxy state controlled by Russia. In and out kind of a deal. Couple weeks, 3 weeks. Russia propaganda, they were irate. They were saying, Ukrainian army? That's a laughing stock. Oh, come on, give us a break. We're there and out of there in like 3 days. We just, Anyway. To everyone's surprise, that did not happen. I even talked to many Ukrainians at that time, even Ukrainian folks. They thought that they were doomed. But doom did not happen. I think 2 major things happened. Ukrainian people started showing signs of heroism and patriotism. They showed themselves to be great patriots and heroes. They were fighting for their land, for their families, for their country, and Russian armed forces, they turned to be, how do I say that? Russian armed forces, Everyone had thought that Russian army was number 2 in the world, and it turned to be the Russian armed forces. Stupidity of decisions doesn't even come close to describe what Russian forces have been. I don't even know such word in English language. The Russians withdrew for the first time in late March. I think it was March 29th, 2022, like I said. But still, it was considered just a tactical withdrawal. And all those long months until very recently, Ukraine talked defense. And everyone talked Ukraine defending. Everywhere. In media all over the world, in Ukraine, in private conversations, in social media. Defense, defense, defense. Until recently. No one, nowhere talks Ukraine of defending only anymore. Moreover, what's been the talk of the town, the talk of the world, the talk of the West, the talk of Russia is the counteroffense. It's been on everyone's tongue for the past at least 70 days. And at this point, no one doubts that Ukrainian counteroffense is on the way, has been on the way. Sign number 2. Russia not talking offense anymore. Vice versa, Russia does not talk offense or advancement anymore. It always had been, we will take Bakhmut, we will take Ukraine, we will take Donetsk region, we will take Kyiv then we will go further into the west, we will take Poland, and we have no limits, no borders, we will expand the Russian world everywhere. Not everyone. Russian politicians were more reserved, but propaganda people, they went wild, especially in the first couple months. Well, that is until recently. Um, a Russian leadership announced big offensive in late 2022. It was kind of the last try to rectify the situation. I remind you, there was a mobilization announced on September 21st, 2022, and they fairly quickly mobilized, grabbed, hunted 350,000 Russian men. That is the official number. I don't believe it's true. I believe there were many more, but at least 350,000. And they threw them into the front lines to Ukraine to protect and defend Russia from the enemies on the territory of a neighboring state. Funny. So the offensive was announced, and it was supposed to be over and won by February. First, Bakhmut had to fall. Now, Russian armed forces, reinforced by the felons let out of prisons, the murderers, the rapists, the child molesters, the scum who made up a private war company, Wagner, they started attempting to take Bakhmut on the 17th of May 2022. Well, you all know how long it took them to take over Bakhmut, and the rumors have it they have not completed the takeover. But anyway, they announced the takeover. Vladimir Putin announced the complete takeover of Bakhmut by Russian forces on the 20th of May 2023. So they were trying to take over a small town for more than 1 year. Obviously, the big, glorious offensive that Russian army was supposed to execute did not happen. Well, they might have tried, and they did not succeed. Strangely enough, well, I'm saying strangely because I'm being sarcastic, everyone on the west side of Russian-Ukrainian border stopped talking of further advancements into Ukraine. Russia's top propaganda person, Solovyov, was the first one to voice concerns publicly in his show live about the counter-offensive. He acknowledged, I think it was 2 months ago, he acknowledged the counter-offensive coming live on his show. He screamed, calling not to wait and start bombing Ukraine with the nukes. All of you, well, a lot of you have seen it, that made the news all over the world. That kind of early bird signs and then propaganda just started speaking about that. Oh, Ukrainian counteroffensive here and there, discussing, inviting experts to live shows, them giving their opinions. Oh, we will crush the counteroffensive, this and that, and then some voicing concerns, interviewing people, asking for their opinions. But everyone started accepting the fact that there was a counteroffensive coming. Now, the sign number 3, and that is, in my eyes, is a very, very strong sign, reaction of Russia's top leadership to Ukraine's first bites at Russian territory. Recently, the bites started happening. Recently, Ukraine started bringing the war back home to Russia. Surprise, surprise, The shellings of border regions, border towns, multiple raids on Belgorod. They've been 3 so far. Drones flying all over Russia. Oil refineries in the southern Russia on fire. Multiple drone strikes. And recently, a massive drone strike on Moscow. Must be the most protected area of Russia. There was a successful drone strike. massive drone strike, drone attack. One of the drones smashed into a building right next to my apartment, missed by 50 yards, So definitely, that was not what the initial plan was. Remember, we had been told in Russia that everything was going according to the plan. So obviously, recently, things stopped going according to the plan. And the last time we heard that things were going according to the plan was the last month of 2022, in December. What happened to the plan? But what do you do? Let's just imagine. What do you do if you're a leader of Russia, a country with some force, large country, and you make a decision to kill people in a neighboring country. You make a decision to attack, to wage a war, and then you show the sign of strength by that, right? I am the president, I attack, I invade. And then things go sour. What do? Well, you get into the public eye, on television, address the country, and you speak to people. When something extraordinary happens, you project confidence. You admit mistakes. You probably find some scapegoats and blame them and sacrifice them. You present the new plan and make it open to everyone, so everyone understands it and believes in you, and everyone kind of supports you, right? That's what a strong leader would do. Instead, what does Minister of Defense of Russian Federation does? Sergei Shoigu? He eats manure that Prigozhin, the owner of Wagner private army, pours into his mouth for months. He doesn't say a word. The Minister of Defense eats manure. He swallows it. What does Lavrov, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Russian Federation, do? He gets booed anywhere he goes to outside Russia. What does Vladimir Putin do? He looks like he hasn't paid attention to what's been happening in Russia. As the result of what he started in February of 2022, he has self-ejected himself from Russian public space. You know what he did on June 1st when the attack on Belgorod happened? Instead of getting out into the public, going live, and getting the situation under control, Putin goes to meet young children who read poetry that glorifies him, Almighty Vladimir Putin. That's a very loud and clear message, sign that there is no leadership in Russia left right now. This vacuum of leadership at the very top. In times of war, it's unacceptable. If that happens, guess what? You lose. And the sign number 4. Number 4 is actually most unusual, probably most anticipated sign since the start of the war. The sign of that tide has started changing. I've been praying for this sign for a long time, I pray and I invite everyone. I finish the live streams with prayers, and one of the prayers since day one, I've said, I ask God to help somehow stop the bloodshed in Ukraine. So yesterday, for the first time in 17 months of this craziness that Vladimir Putin started, on multiple propaganda outlets, multiple experts started openly voicing the idea that this war is claiming too many lives. It's too costly. It's unnecessary. Some experts said that the goals have been met, and some experts said, hey, the goals have not been met, and this is, nothing going according to the plan, and the war must be stopped at any price. So I want you, I repeat you again, I heard yesterday and today that nothing from multiple people on Russian TV, on Russian, live shows, that nothing has been going according to the plan. Oh no. And the war must be stopped. So you understand, everything that happens on Russian TV or in Russian media space is scripted. There is no space for improvisation whatsoever. All ideas that are publicly voiced in the shows, in the studios, are meticulously engineered. And propaganda people listened to those experts who came out and said, hey, the war must be stopped. Nothing's going according to the plan. Cautiously, very calm and quietly. Which was absolutely impossible even 4 months ago. If someone said that things were not going according to the plan, and we in Russia were not reaching the goals of the special military operation war, and the war had to be stopped, if someone would, on the air, live, if someone would said something like that, he would be yelled at live, he would be shut down immediately, he'd be charged with treason and spreading fakes as disinformation, and he'd be arrested, okay? Just like many Russian people did. Only they weren't live on TV. They were just saying that, hey, this is unjust war, it must be stopped. They were liking messages like that on the social media, and they got real prison terms for that, The only case I remember that went otherwise was Ovsyannikova. Remember that brave lady in March? She jumped in front of the camera live on Первый канал, the first channel #1, with a little piece of paper saying, you are being lied here. This is the war. She jumped, and then you could see it for like split seconds, and then they shut her down. They find her, they open criminal investigation, charged with, all these things. And it was it, just once. And yesterday, I was like, wow, this is quite a change. Tide has definitely started turning. Now a few people start talking about the plan being crappy. Surprise, surprise, of nothing going according to the plan and stopping war on any conditions or at any conditions. Folks, you mark my words. June 3rd is another huge key milestone, and this is the beginning of the U-turn. They, on the very top, understand that they have lost. They understand they have nothing to contain Ukrainian counteroffensive. They foresee the chaos and the clash of everyone with everyone inside Russia that I talked about in the very last stream, about the civil wars. They're not stupid there, They start frantically looking for a way out. I personally think that for the current leadership, it's way past the point of no return, okay? They are not gonna save themselves anyhow. So, the 4 signs. The first sign, Ukraine does not speak defense anymore. Second sign, Russia does not speak offense anymore. The third sign, complete lack of leadership and self-ejection of Russian president from the public field. And the fourth, the propaganda tide changing. The voices start being heard, and the ideas that were considered criminal some days ago, 100 days ago, now all of a sudden are listened to. Mark my words, June 3rd. We'll get back to this stream sometimes in the future. Before I finish, I'd like to tell you one more thing that might interest very much. Look, I made coverage not too long ago when the raids were being executed on Belgorod. I covered this news, right? And they were successful raids, multiple raids, by some groups. They call themselves Legion, Russian Freedom Legion, and Russian Voluntarily Corps. So they call themselves Russian troops, Russian fighters, Russian citizens that bring in the war into Russia. And Ukrainian government has distanced itself from those raids and from those groups, okay? The latest explanation I heard, the Ukrainians are saying, look, those folks, they joined Ukrainian Foreign Legion as Russian citizens, okay? Just like French Foreign Legion, you know, a group of fighters that are foreigners. But then their contracts expired. They're not part of Foreign Legion anymore. And they've created their own groups. Of course, you know, they had participated in fights, so they got lots of weapons as trophies, I guess. And now they are acting completely independent. And we do not control them. That's official point of Ukrainian government. And I was, you know, for the last few days, I've been analyzing this situation, and holy cow, something just struck me. The Ukrainians are mirroring the Russians. They're doing the very same thing that the Russians did to Donbass in 2014. They are seeding the chaos. They are planting the seeds of chaos and the civil war. And in the next stream, tomorrow, at the same time, at this time, I will tell you more in details of the seeds of chaos that are being planted in Russia by the Ukrainians. They're doing the same thing that the Russians did 9 years ago. And the seeds that are growing, that they were planted in Russia by Russians, and they are growing in Russia right now, independently from the Ukrainians. So please tune in to tomorrow's stream, where I will talk in details about that. It'll be interesting. Thank you so very much. That has been my message for today. It's actually a hopeful stream. I hope that this bloodshed will end soon. And I think this is the beginning of the end. And I think this year we will see peace, finally. Thank you so much. Before I turn, I invite you to carry over to live stream chat. And before I turn the comments on, I would like to ask you to help spread my message by making reposts of this message in your social media accounts. That helps a lot. And would you please consider signing up for my Telegram group called Inside Konstantin's Russia? The link will be in the description below, where I keep updating of the latest news and make announcements of the streams. And if you'd like to buy me coffee, I'd appreciate that. I like drinking coffee. Thank you so much. The chat is on. The comments are on. If you're not seeing them, please refresh your webpage and you will see. Again, thank you everyone for coming, giving me a chance. It's been a pleasure. Thank you. Just give me a second. I usually open some technical actions. I open live stream chat in a new window. That's much easier for me to read it that way. And there you go. If you're here for the first time, please know that this YouTube channel has the best mods in the world, in the universe. They are Lorna, Mammy, Harry Potnin, Bob S., Amir, and Blackhead. Thank you, friends. Thank you for always coming and watching my back. And the usual suspects, howdy, howdy. We have Isma, first person on the live stream chat, which is unusual. Usually it's Lorna and Mommy, but That's good anyway. Thank you so much. If you want me to read your message easier, and so it jumps into my site, please put it in caps and put inside Russia after @ so it appears highlighted in orange box, and I will not miss it. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, usual suspects here. Howdy, howdy. Best and most powerful stream message yet. Constantine, thank you, Robert. It's actually hopeful. Makes me excited. Makes me excited when I see that there are signs that this madness is about to end. I don't know, not tomorrow, but somewhere on the horizon. At least we start seeing the signs, you know. That makes me hopeful. Doug, howdy. Lord of Grape, Koshkin Dom, Viking, the usual suspects, thank you. Please put in caps if you want me to see your message, because there are so many of them. Maltidaki, Micah, Irvin, Roy, George Rames, Robert, Rabbit Bill, Dave Strains, Blue Daisy, howdy. Millie, Sam K, howdy. Mario from Croatia, Horvatia. RW, howdy, howdy. Fantastic to see everyone, friends. There are so many people today. That's reinforcing. X-Flying Tiger, John and Nikki from Lake Shasta. Hello from Shasta Lake. You don't have to write that anymore, I remember. I memorized. Purple Haze, thank you so much for your support. No message, but this message is incredibly strong. Thank you. Maltidaki, RW. Bob Brennan, howdy, howdy, long time no see. I'm a Finn living in Kansas. KLA charts, howdy. Muson Gull, hello from Shawnee, Oklahoma, USA, howdy. We have Europe, the USA, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, pretty much people from all over the world. This is, I get so many kicks out of just participating in this community. Thank you. Mark Bramlett, thank you so much. The usual suspect, you are definitely. The Russian army is still number 2 army only on Ukrainian territory. Glad the change is happening. Wayward, I believe it's happening. We'll see. I will definitely keep you updated, perhaps in community posts on what is happening in Russian propaganda, whether they continue, they probing this message, or we must stop it at any cost, because the only way that is standing, there's one thing that is standing between them stopping the war right now is Russian people, okay? They lied so many times saying, oh, we don't denazify Ukraine, we're fighting NATO. If they stop now, the people will be like, wait a second. What, you know, what have you done? Why did you... Ryan Williams, do you have thoughts about what China might do as chaos grows in Russia? China is sitting there and waiting. That's the Chinese way, I think. China will move swiftly when the time is right. I don't think it's going to be doing anything in the near time because the time is not right for China. But when the chaos grows, then that's going to be murky water, and boy, Chinese will be fishing in it. RW, howdy, and great to see you, friend. So, guys, to let you know that RW is a fantastic friend. He's supported me so much with not just money. He sent super chats, but he reached out to me and he said, listen, if you ever need a place to stay, if you need any kind of help, you know, this is my offer to you. You can always reach out and do that. So I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. And thanks for your financial support as well. Hello, good and decent people. I have quail chicks in the brooder, blackberries and tomatoes on the vine, and there are signs of hope for Russia and Ukraine. What a lovely Sunday God has given us. Thank you so much. Thank you. Fantastic message. Thank you. Crusader Damien, look, I missed your questions. Hello, my friend. In English, we have a saying, the chickens always come home to roost. The Russian people are starting to feel a tiny bit of pain they have inflicted on Ukraine for over a year. We had, well, it's not a question, but I have a story to tell you, short one. We had a breakfast club meeting this morning, and Sunday there's a large group of people come. And usually 2 or 3 Ukrainian families show up. Well, just, we don't divide ourselves into Russians and Ukrainians anymore. We're just all friends. So they showed up, and I was showing them the pictures. They did not hear about the attacks, drone attacks on Moscow, and they didn't hear that my apartment was nearly attacked. It was, let's say, 50, 75 yards from my apartment that happened. So I showed them the pictures, and I told them what was happening. Russians were upset, and they were like, "What? They've been bombing us for so long, and then now they're getting upset." So it's exactly what you said. That's what's happening, and you're right. You're right. They start feeling a tiny little bit, but you know what? At least they start feeling something. Thank you so much. Malti Daki, thank you for sponsoring 15 people. I appreciate me and not 15. 5 people, I'm sorry. I need some of this tea. I'm drinking English breakfast, by the way. Whew. Let me catch my breath. It's good tea. Twinings, one of my favorites. So good. Anyway, Multidaki, thank you so much. Thank you. John and Lynn Betcher, Minnesota listens to you regularly. Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing your views. Well, look, thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thanks for the support too. White Lightning, if Putin pulls out of Ukraine tomorrow and surrounds Moscow with troops, can he survive? Well, I don't think he's in Moscow. He's got a secret place somewhere outside. But I don't think he's been to Moscow for like a year or whatever. No matter how many troops he surrounds himself with, he is done. He understands that. If he does that people will have to come up with a scapegoat, with some kind of a person who will take all the blame. And of course, he'll be dead and they'll be blaming him. Oh, we didn't know. Oh, we were always supporting in Ukraine, always silently, because we didn't dare to, and things like that. So, Mikhail Asp, howdy, and thank you. So grateful for your work. Thank you so much. Become a daily routine to check into your streams. It's good to know. Finally, hopeful message. Hey, thank you. This morning we had Paul from Vienna, Austria. He came to Uzbekistan to travel, but I think it's 50-50 for the breakfast club and for traveling. So he did some traveling, and then I met him 2 days ago. I made a community post, and this morning he showed up, and he's one of the people. He says, I never post anything, but I always listen, like every single day. So Mikhail, thank you so much. You and Paul and people like you, you really give me strength, motivation, and energy to keep on going. Thank you so much. Union Hijack, I like the name, from Australia. Every day you pray for angels with the sharpest swords to end the bloodshed, bring peace. Thank you. I don't think I'm... No. Thank you for the nice words, though. I'm saying and I'm doing what comes from my heart, what I feel right, and that's pretty much it. But thank you. I'm very touched. Thank you so much. Caesars, thank you. I gotta make a print screen of this. This is like, it means very much. Thank you. Caesars, do you think that the frozen conflicts in the neighboring countries might stop being an advantage for Russian Federation, become liability? What I think will happen with the frozen conflicts, Russia is so much in trouble that soon it will not have resources to allocate to those countries, and those conflicts will simply end for those countries. That's it. That's not going to be Russia's concern anymore. Russia will have so much bigger troubles to take care of, so bigger issues to deal with, and forget about Moldova, Abkhazia, Ossetia, and countries like that. Rocket Ronnie, howdy. Thank you for your support. You get it, K. Ukraine has smart leaders. They do to Russia what Russia did to them. West not got it yet. Offense begun. Why, I've told 2 weeks ago that the offense has begun. Chaos in Russia, less death to ASU. What's ASU? I'm not sure. Russia defeating itself. Time to flee free anti-war prisoners. You see, Russia, you're saying Russia defeating itself. The minute that decision was made to attack Ukraine, Russia defeated itself. It shot in one foot, in second foot, in elbow, in another elbow, in its stomach, and it's been laying on the ground bleeding, and the longer it lays on the ground, the more blood getting out of Russia. And it's screaming, oh, friends, come help, North Korea, Venezuela, China, and who is at Russia's help? No one. Iran, everyone just is using Russia and taking advantage of Putin. That's pretty much it. Not everyone, just 2 countries, Iran and China, that's all. But this is what I think that happened to my country. How could they come and make this decision to attack Ukraine? I don't get it. But that's stupid or something, or like, this is a cosmic mistake, by Putin. He could have ruled Russia until natural death, for a long time. He just bargained himself, not bargained, but he changed constitution 2 years ago to allow him to be the president of Russia for 13 more years. 13! Just freaking be the president for 13 years. Do whatever you want inside Russia. Why in the world would you attack Ukraine? Oh my gosh. Black Ad. We have birthday, White Lightning 777. And thank you so much, Black Ad. You know what it means? It means we're gonna sing. Now, I'll be nice and I warn everyone that I'm gonna sing now the birthday song. So my friends, I'm such a good singer that when I sing, people cover their ears and start screaming at me, demanding I stop. So I'm about to start. So you have a couple seconds to cover up your ears. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, White Lightning. Happy birthday to you. My friend, thank you for being such a great member of this community. Thank you. Your name is definitely here among the top ones, and I'm wishing you the best of luck, good health, good relationships, and lots of money. Good health. Did I say that? Yes. So happy birthday. And Black Cat, thank you so much. How about that? Your official birthday bearer. Not bearer, but bringer, By the way, Rocket Ronnie, I think Ukraine has smart leaders, but I think it gets lots of help from the West, from the experts, also real smart people. Nading F, thank you so very much for your support. Thank you. And KWNY Upstate, long time no see. The international community should require Russia to pay reparations. And it will, I think. It will require, and Russia will have no choice. Apologize for the war and hand Putin to the Hague before any lifting sanctions. I don't think that Putin will go to Hague. He will not make it. And apologizing, that'll be done. That'll be done. You know what? Another small sign, but it falls into this picture of what I just told you today. Dmitry Medvedev came out and publicly said this. Now, I will not quote him because I don't remember. It's a long speech, but the idea was the same. Whoever becomes the next leader of Russia, if he changes the course of Russia, if he stops the special military operation, if he makes peace, if he gives up territories, then he will be a traitor forever to Russia and Russian people, So he knows. He knows it's coming. He knows the new leader will be, and he knows that the new leader will be apologizing. But, what is apologizing? I come up and right now and say, dear Ukrainians, I apologize for Russia. Is that enough? If the president of Russia will come out and say, I apologize, is that enough? I don't think so. Tell it to the people, who lost their relatives in the war, who were bombed, whose houses or apartments were blown up to pieces. Tell it to them. Dirk, Koshkin Dom has also birthday. Also the birthday. Ugh. Tongue is twisted. I'm sorry. Hang on. We have two birthdays. Two birthdays today. All right. So here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friend Koshkin Dom. Happy birthday to you. Many happy returns. С днем рождения. All the best. Всего самого лучшего. Наилучшего. Thank you for being such a great member of the community. Thank you. I think everyone's saying happy birthday along with me. Shireen Wiedenhoft, thank you so much. Faithful follower in the wings. Hopeful message today. Something I've wanted to ask you for many days. Have you ever tried chai? Well, this is chai. Tea in Russia is chai. So I try it a few times a day. Or masala tea. I've tried masala or masala. I don't know how you say it, but in Russia they say masala. A friend of mine has a pack he brought from India. It's like the best masala tea, and I don't like it. I just like English breakfast, English, regular tea like Darjeeling or English breakfast. I like Earl Grey, not strong though. I like Assam. These are my best teas, and I think that the English, they have the best tea in the world. There's no question about that. I've tried different teas, and English tea is the best. Even though the tea is not grown in England, it's grown someplace else, but the English companies, Crusader Damien, another question. Do the Russians understand what has really happened? Do they realize that when this war ends, they suffering begins? I'm telling you, you have the best questions. I could make streams out of your questions. The West has collectively turned its back on post-war Russia. I pray they are ready. Look, to me, it's no-brainer. To me, I know it's not a question. I know that the West has collectively turned its back on post-war Russia, and Russians who think otherwise, they're crazy. They have wishful thinking. Okay. Do the Russians understand what really has happened? I think that now many Russians start understanding, but it's painful. If you admit that you're wrong. It means that so many lives were lost due to your country's actions and for nothing, innocent lives. And you know how painful it is to realize? I know because it was obvious to me from the day one. I've been hurting. You know, I'm not going to talk about myself, but let me tell you, it's not a pretty feeling, okay? Far from it. And the Russians, many Russians, they're afraid. They're afraid to burst this bubble or let this truth inside. But it's going to happen sooner or later. So they're not ready. They have started realizing what's happened. And the suffering will begin soon. And it will start with economic suffering because Russian numbers are worse and worse every single month. And, well, this is the reality. There's not much to be done about it. William, thank you. Thank you so much. I still recall your message from Friday. Thank you. All that which is proper to the life of a rational being is the good. All that which destroys it is the evil. An excellent phrase. Who said that? Would you please let me know? And thanks for your support. Mark Bass, welcome to Inside Russia, a new sponsor. Thank you so much for joining the sponsorship program. Gerald Everett, thank you so much. No message, but your message is heard. Trust me on that. Aspen English, howdy. Black Ops FX, can people openly complain without getting reported, at least with friends? Has that stopped? No, it hasn't stopped. It's just getting started. Because once you have this genie out of the bottle, you cannot just take it and put it back. It's going to get worse and worse. I've been there before in the USSR. I remember how people were making denunciation papers, even friends. Now, what's next thing? What's going to happen is the FSB, which KGB, will be cracking on people, making them collaborators, reporters. That people would agree to report. Informants. Informants in the ones who inform. Okay, so that's coming. That's coming too. Talk. Gerald Everett, Robert R, Constantine from Ireland. You should try Barry's Irish tea. It's also very good. Robert from Ireland. You know what? One tea that I absolutely love is Brody's Irish breakfast. Oh, strong, very flavorful, tasty, and packs a punch. Brianna, great to see you. I wonder if Putin can figure out a way out of the hole he dug himself and he's landed into. I don't think there is a way out. At least I have been trying to figure out a way out for him. Is there a way out? I can't find. Some of his close friends, perhaps if they start cooperating, but he's gonna be sacrificed by his friends, by his closest supporters. He's gonna be made responsible. Well, he's responsible. He made the decision. It's not like they'll make him responsible for nothing. I mean, he came out and it was his decision. Publicly, he humiliated 2 days prior to invasion. It was televised. He came to a huge hole, and then his closest supporters, his inner circle was out there, and then he asked everyone, "Do you agree? The special operation?" Everyone said yes, yes, yes. So it was his decision. So Brianna, I think no, he will not save himself. Union Hijack, thank you so much. Thank you, my friend. Don Co, thank you. Jim Pennin, thank you so much. Scott Nesbitt, howdy. Philo Goal, I hope this really is the beginning of the end. We will see soon. Simon 434, do you really believe that public opinion in Russia can change the war effort significantly? I think it's the otherwise. They will change public opinion. They will engineer it. It's not the public opinion will change things, but they will make a decision to change things and they will engineer the public opinion. That's how it works in Russia. Marilyn Parmley, yeah, glimmer of hope. That's a good phrase. Yes, it is a glimmer of hope. Not much, but at least, I start seeing the signs. Andrew Hodson from South Africa again. Howdy, howdy. Vinland, Konstantin Skabeva words were translated by Russian Media Monitor, and I would like to know if this is correct. Did she say what? Dennis Hayes came us on fire today. Well, I don't know. You decide whether I'm on fire or not. Alfie? Konstantin, do you think that the different districts will be independent republics? I think that if everything is going as it's been going, there will be lots of power groups fighting for power, and they will be claiming territories. What's going to happen at the end? I think one state will be born out of all those territories, or, one strong army, one strong leader will appear and emerge. That's what I think. Chris K, dear Konstantin, hope you're right. Send in the best wishes as always. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Ramon, have you heard the speech from Olaf Scholz going off at a Putin supporter, calling Germany warmonger by calling Russia out on their crimes? No. Unfortunately, I did not. Let me make a note. Probably should listen if it's not too long. Louis F., welcome to Inside Russia. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you. Ryan Williams, U-turn in Russian fantasy, not the reality of a constant Russian retreat. Thank you for the message, Konstantin. Pleasure is mine. From your mouth to God's ear. Leitmotiv, I hope so too. Thank you, Veronica. Thank you. Well, of course I can be wrong, but this is what I honestly, sincerely feel, and this is what I'm seeing right now. And I'm not the only one, by the way. I have talked to a few people about this. Opinion is universal. Kevin, me too. Ann Larson, howdy. Thank you so much. Me too. Becky W, down East Maine. Hello, Becky. Great to see a fellow Mainer. Ryan Cameron from Newfoundland, also a neighbor. YouTube has problems with the chat. Yes, it does. Lorna has reported numerous problems in the past few streams, who knows. I believe the counterattack is a problem for Ukraine because now the Russian defense, you need more force to attack. Andreas, we will see. So far, Ukrainians are not going straight counteroffensive, but they're using tactics. Zora Computers, I just think why Algridus turned home and did not level Moscow. when he had a chance. Who's Algridus? Well, let me not comment on that. Jukes, I pray that Russia will have a turnaround. Prussian ancestors. Okay. Jodes Reims has just gifted sponsorships. 5 to 5 people. Thank you, friend. Fantastic to see you. Crusader Damien, another statement, not a question. Only Putin could wake up Germans from their long sleep. Lord knows we tried for decades. Yeah, God works in mysterious ways. Sen N, thank you so much for your support. Message is heard and received here. Thank you. Melissa Harden, thank you so much. Hope this trend is true and continues. I hope it continues too. I will definitely keep you updated on this. Every single week I'll be making a community post. Z Tristan, now that Ukraine is heading for success, what do we need to do to ensure that no one does anything foolish in the last minute desperation with the nuclear weapons? Hope China ensuring this. I cannot answer your question. I do not believe that the nukes will be used. It's just the price is too high to pay for everyone. For the ones who will who might try to use the nukes. Well, who have power to use the nukes. So I don't think that's in the game. Marv, howdy. Freedom of Russia Legion is simply protecting the Ukrainian speakers of Belgorod People's Republic, equipment form of ordinary military surplus store. Yeah, tanks and armored vehicles. Yeah, I saw that. Carson Larrymore, thank you. Do you think outcast Russians still believe everything will go back to normal after the war? Seems most inside are not affected by this war. They are affected. They are affected. They understand they are affected. The living standard in Russia has fallen by a great deal. I have yet to speak to a person who does not feel the pinch. Some say, well, it's okay, it's not a big deal, and some complain, yes, their lives have become harder economically. Some people understand what's going on in Ukraine. They cannot leave Russia. They don't want to leave. I don't know. It's either way. Everyone makes a own decision, but some understand and some grieve. Some feel bad. A lot don't. Like I said, they put themselves in a bubble and they say, well, it's happening far away and not happening to me, I try to live as usual. But sooner or later, the bubbles will be burst, like I said. And in Moscow, in my neighborhood, the bubble was burst a few days ago by the drones. So the ones who were not affected by the war all of a sudden became affected by the war. Okay, and people are still talking about it, and people are still some people are still shaken by that, and that's going to be happening more and more. Bernie, thank you so much. You're from Sweden, as far as I see. Thank you. Message is heard. EW 1974. Let's hope the U-turn will come true, and the sooner the better. Let's hope so. Yes, thank you. Chat's on fire today. So many people. Cheryl Watley, guys, live stream marathon day, multiple channels. Which ones? Which other channels did you go into? Interesting, folks. If you could let me know which other channels you watch besides mine, that'd be interesting. I just read a little about the Kursk submarine on Kursk. That's right. Submarine on 15th of August 2000. A very bad start for Putin. Looks like he's going out on a bad leadership memory too. It wasn't a bad. You see, for a leader, there are no good or bad events. There are events. It's a real life. Things happen. Good things happen, bad things happen. But if you're a leader, it's the way you approach to them, it's the way you react, and it's the way you lead people through hard times. If something like that happens. Putin failed miserably when the submarine sank. He was, for a few days, he was on vacation, swimming in the Black Sea, and he kept on swimming, basically, and anyway, it was a disaster for him, but that's not because it was a bad omen or anything. It was just a bad decision made by him. That's all. Nikki Bedford, thank you so much for your support. Thank you. Amoroso Combi, finally Russia has decided something sane. Yes, I hope so. Jake Bro, excellent channel. Elsha, thank you so much for letting me know. The Russian dude, yes, I know the guy. Zach the Russian, know him personally. NFKRZ, I don't know him personally, but I watch sometimes. Artur Rehi, yes, great channel also. Okay, so Pinda the Peanut, thank you so much. Sunny, Yelena, Faith, Just Terry. All really good channels. Fantastic guys and girls. Leslie, Frank in Texas. What do you think will happen to Navalny? If they don't kill him in prison because he's in solitary confinement for 15th time or something like that, if he don't finish him off, then he'll be set free. If his spirit is still strong, he will be one of the leaders of Russia, but they might break him. I honestly don't know, but I wish them the best. He's definitely the political prisoner. Angela McNall, thank you so much for your support. And Nasetka, welcome to Inside Russia. We have Taras Kulik, Buffalo, New York, relatives in Ternopolskaya Oblast, right? They respect your work very much. They watch me too. Wow. Thank you for all you do. Taras, look, every time there's a Ukrainian on this channel, just watching, that really warms my heart. Every time there's someone from Ukraine or with Ukrainian roots commenting on this channel, that really warms my heart, Thank you so much. Please forgive us. Joe Harvey, sorry, late to the party. What development did I miss? Joe, well, thanks for making it here. You are with us, you're part of the community, so you haven't missed much. Just go back and watch my message. There's a hopeful message for a change today. So please go and rewatch it. I'm not going to spoil it for you. Dennis Hayes. Could a confederation of oblasts be a workable model for transitioning to democracy? Well, in theory, yes. Russia is a federation, as it is, okay? It's a federation of republics and provinces. We will see, Dennis. The heck knows. Let's stop this war with Ukraine. Let's stop the bloodshed first, and then we'll talk about how to organize Russia later. Tom Son, will St. Petersburg region try to become a kind of Baltic state, Western oriented? I don't know. I can't answer this question. I'm sorry. It'll depend. It'll depend on what kind of leadership that region will have, what the leadership goals will be, what kind of army we're talking about. Nightbot says time is up, and time is really up. Great Southern Land. I could care less about Russia's Eastern Orthodox Church with its current leadership. I don't care what's going to happen to them. Folks, I invite everyone. Well, first of all, I'm thanking you for joining and giving me a chance to deliver my message today. Thanks for staying with me in the live stream chat. Thanks for your support. Nice words are priceless. Money is very appreciated too. Thank you so much. Please, let's join me in prayer to finish the stream. Hope everyone is having a good Sunday, and then we're done, and I hope you have the great remaining of the day. Thank you. Let's do it. Dear Lord Jesus Christ, thank you so much for giving us this day. Thank you for giving us this week, and thanks for giving us a glimpse of hope. Thank you for putting bread and food on our tables and giving roofs over our heads. Thank you for surrounding with people who we love and who love us. Please give us wisdom to have and keep the skies above our children's heads peaceful, and raise our children so when they grow up and become adults, they will have a better job running this world than we have done. They will make this world a better place. And for now, please keep all our children safe and healthy. Dear Lord, please help stop the bloodshed in Ukraine. Reach out all people who can make the difference, who are capable of making decision to stop the bloodshed. Reach out to all of them. Talk to them, touch their hearts, touch their souls, fill them with love, fill them with forgiveness, fill them with empathy, so they wake up and make decision to stop the bloodshed, to start the peace. Please help every single Ukrainian who has been affected by this terrible tragedy. Answer their prayers and make their wishes come true. Send every person in Ukraine an angel, so the angels keep people away from harm's way. Please help my country. Assemble the army of your strongest angels with sharpest swords, led by Saint Michael in a shining armor, so they come down to this earth and will get rid of the demons that have hijacked my country. Have angels run Russia, make it right, make it peaceful, and make it good. Dear Lord, please help all who are traveling. Send them safe travels. Those who are seeking asylum, especially families, send good people, good advice, and help their way. Please help all the hungry, the jobless, the homeless, the sick, the ones struggling with their faith, the depressed, the ones with low self-esteem. Please shine your heavenly light upon everyone who is in need, so they feel better about themselves, they feel better about their lives, and they will get up from their knees, they will stand up, smile, and will have a chance to have good life again. Dear Lord, please help all the Ukrainians who are suffering right now from the strikes, Russian strikes, missiles and drones. Please send help their way, any kind of help they need. Please help all the single mothers raising their kids and struggling. trying to end makes to meet suffering financially, so please help them. Send good people and help their way. Please give us all peaceful skies above our heads, regardless who we are and where we live, and give us wisdom to keep the skies peaceful and to never engage into any wars with each other. Thank you so much for bringing us into this community. Thank you for allowing us to come together and pray every day. Please help everyone who is praying right now or just simply watching me pray. Answer everyone's prayer and make everyone's wish come true here. Thank you so much. I would like to ask for some people who need your help. They are Frank in Texas, Highwayman and Highwayman's daughter, Margaret, Linda, RT, Per, Sarah, James Gantz, China Bill, Julia Haney, Paul, Greg, Jim and Shirley Hall, Delaney and her 2 daughters, Ann Larson, her family and daughter Hannah, Florentina, Mac's family, Sherry Morin, CKOC, Brian Wilkes, Amir's uncle Dicky, Liz Dumbrell and her grandparents, Ripted, daughter of Aspen English, Ruth, Paul, Susan, Alona and her boys, Bip, Darla, Rudy Kaisley, Santa's Whiskey, Paula McDonald, White Lightning, George Ruberty, thank you for shining your light upon him, Dave Strains, Pam, Wayne, Shirley, Debbie, Jen Allen, Finola, Essie from the Scottish Isles, Lars Henrik and Lars Henrik's mother, Outlander and family, Choriz and family, David Porter, his family, and everyone who is in Chernovtsi, Ukraine right now, Lars, Susan Marshall, Beulah, Bus Simon, Alvin, Alvin's sister, Lazarus, Teresa D., Terry Carter, Joan Lee McMahon, Meta Spencer, Diana and her family, Bree's friend, Caroline, Albina Fell, Michael Yukon, Joel, Life, Karin Vasseur, Pamela J., Daniel 9, Lindsay, Larry, Brittany S., Yelena, Natasha, Jake, Michael, Oля, Dasha, Sky, Bonnie, Svetlana, Karen, Janine, Michael Milkevitz, Marlene, Paul Bins, Richard, Mallory M., Dirk Misler, Linda, Terry, Angelica at Life, and Scan Family's grandson, Randolph, Barb, Nelly, Arkady, and Yuri, Harry's family, Verlinda's niece, Doug, King Nero, Gaby Hyman, Donald, Deborah, Lisa's son, Jade, Kaltenberg, Allison Dave Moyers, Maureen M., and her sister, Mr. Hanson, Bob, Matt, Ashley and family, Mr. Dean Spooner, his church called Our Savior Lutheran Church, Lisa Kumrian, Jacob, Adam Oliver, Amy, Kyle's wife, Maggie, Carmen's sister, Vladislav and Sergey, Susie Mailer, Gina Wayfarer, MS paramedic Liz, Lori Miles' husband, Cherry, Layla, Philip's mother, and Thomas Fall and his mother. Dear Lord, also asking for very special children. They are Cadence, Maverick, Sebastian, Coulter, Theo Muddy, Eva, Karin Vasseur niece, and Ansley. Please send recovery and shine your light upon their families. Give them strength. Asking you for all children who have been affected by the tragedy from Ukraine, from Russia. Please send everyone your love, help and recovery, and help all the children who are not feeling well in the world, and send them recovery and send their parents strength. Thank you so much, dear Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. My friends, thank you. It's been a good stream. I like it very much. Thank you. You are absolutely awesome. You rock and roll. You are the best. Please come back tomorrow. I will continue my message, today's message. I will talk about what I see, what kind of seeds of chaos have been planted and grown in Russia. I think it's very important to understand today's Russia, so please come back on Monday at the usual time. And today, before I finish, I would like to ask everyone to say along with me the usual, Carthago delenda est.